the chicken or the egg? Which come first, the chicken or the egg? How could something so fat and furry come from something so smooth and pearly? Which come first, the chicken or the egg?
Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Davenport and welcome to Exploring Plant and Animal Science. This week we are discussing where do they come from, the chicken and the egg. We are going to be discussing the impact of broiler production and egg laying production. We're going to be talking about those differences in how we produce egg-laying chickens that produce eggs that we eat, that we get from the grocery store, and our broiler chickens, the chickens that we cook and eat and roast and fry. So, first, let's start with egg production systems. So, let's start with egg production systems. So let's get some vocabulary out of the way first. So what is an egg production system? Well, egg production systems are the management of chickens for the sole purpose of, well, egg production, so that we have actual eggs, okay? So the goal of egg production systems is simply to produce eggs. These are not meat-type chickens. These are birds that have been genetically bred, selectively bred, to produce high-quality eggs. So, what do we call them? First, egg, the hard-shell reproductive body of a bird. In this case, we are discussing chicken eggs. And what do we call the chickens that produce eggs? Well, we call them either layers or pullets, young female chickens that are used primarily for egg production. So, layer and pullet are used interchangeably. So, let's talk about the timeline for egg production. Okay, first, the pullets are fed a high-quality feed. This helps produce high-quality eggs. Second, those eggs are collected. They are taken from and they are not hatched. Third, the eggs are cleaned and graded. That means that they get dirt and waste and all the stuff off of the egg and wash them thoroughly. And then they grade them. Only grade A eggs are sent to the grocery stores for people to buy. There are such things as grade B eggs. Those are normally sent to be used to produce food that is pre-packaged. Only grade A eggs are sent to the grocery stores and restaurants for human consumption from fresh eggs. Eggs are then packaged. They're packaged and they are put into containers. Those packages are then shipped all over the place to restaurants and grocery stores for people to buy. Okay, so that is the timeline of egg production. With that, I'm going to step away for a moment and I'm going to let you guys see how this timeline works in real life.
Chickens don't have to mate to lay eggs, and as long as there's no rooster in the vicinity, the eggs will remain unfertilized and edible. The color of the shell is determined by the breed of hen, but there's no difference when it comes to shell color. White or brown, all eggs are the same inside. The whole thing begins in the hen house, where female chickens start laying eggs when they're 19 weeks old. The building is well ventilated, with the temperatures and humidity strictly controlled. To stimulate laying, fluorescent lighting simulates 15 hours of daylight. The hens eat a measured amount of food 3 times a day. Their feed is made up of various grains mixed with soya bean for protein. It's fortified with vitamins and minerals and contains calcium to strengthen the eggshells. The hens also drink water from nipple-ended tubes attached to their cages. All these carefully monitored conditions are designed to maximize the yield. The average hen lays about 300 eggs a year. The cage floor is sloped, so the eggs automatically roll onto a conveyor belt. Then it's onto a larger conveyor belt which transports the eggs to the packing room. The hen's manure drops through the bottom of their cages onto a conveyor belt below. Even so, some eggs do get dirty, so they're thoroughly cleaned and disinfected later on. Automated equipment transfers the eggs onto plastic flats. It places them wide end up to keep the yolks properly centered. The flats go into a cold room until a refrigerated truck ships them to the grading station, whose job is to classify the eggs by quality. The best, grade A, end up on supermarket shelves. Lesser grades go to processing plants to be turned into ingredients used in foods, pharmaceuticals, and products such as shampoos. This automated station is high-tech and high-speed, processing 144,000 eggs per hour. First, a suction machine lifts the eggs off the flats and transfers them onto a moving track leading to the cleaning station. There, a washer gently scrubs the eggs with soap and disinfectant. The water is 45 degrees Celsius. Anything hotter would cook the eggs. Then it's into a dryer for 5 seconds to evaporate the moisture. The eggs then pass over a bright light, which highlights the condition of the shells. Workers do a visual inspection, removing any that are cracked. A grading camera above assesses the condition and quality of the shell's exterior. Further down the line, other cameras will inspect the interior for blood. To check the strength of the eggshells, acoustic sensors tap on the eggs, detecting any brittle shells by the different sounds of the tap. The inspection machines mark and reject any egg that doesn't make the A grade. The approved eggs move on to electronic scales which register their weight class from small to large. Pressure-controlled claws then transport them to the corresponding packaging line. On the way, every egg gets stamped with a lot number for quality control tracking. The packing machine stamps the egg cartons with the best before date. As in all mass-produced food, there are arguments about the quality of food produced and the quality of life for the animal in question. If in doubt, the best thing is to buy free-range or organic, which ultimately is better for you and the animal.
In egg production, pullets are fed a high-quality feed. The eggs are collected, the eggs are cleaned and graded, they're packaged, and then they are shipped to restaurants and grocery stores. That is 5 steps. So let's discuss the 6 steps in broiler production. So broiler production is dealing with meat type chickens. Okay, so we are talking about the meat production system for chickens for the sole purpose of meat production. Broiler means meat. Now, we're also discussing any type of poultry in this system. Okay, the terms may change, but all poultry, whether it's duck, turkey, chicken, any type of meat that poultry meat that we would eat follows this form of production system in some way. So the term that we used in chicken production is broiler. This is a chicken that is raised for the purpose of meat production. Okay? And so broilers are where our chicken meat comes from. Okay? It doesn't matter. Broilers is the term used for meat chickens. Broiler breeder. This is a young female who produces offspring for meat type chickens. In broiler production, we have to hatch the eggs. That means we also have to have females and males that are there to keep reproducing the line, because the purpose is for market broiler birds. Okay, so broiler breeders are the females that a company or a farmer keeps in stock in order to keep producing eggs to incubate. And incubate means to basically keep warm and let it go through its hatching cycle. So let's look at the timeline for broiler breeders. First step is broiler breeders chickens are fed a high quality diet. They're given a great diet of grains and corn in order to produce healthy embryos that will become healthy broiler chickens. The eggs are then collected from the broiler breeders, and then they are incubated and hatched, which takes 21 days to hatch and have a new baby chick. Those chicks are then fed a high quality ration, and they are grown to a market weight. And the full grown broilers are then harvested and cleaned and graded in order to be sold in grocery stores and sent to restaurants. Okay? So, our next thing is a quick look at broiler production so that you guys can have a visual of what broiler production looks like. So, we're going to review again. Broiler breeders are fed a high quality diet. Eggs are collected from those broiler breeders. Eggs are incubated and hatched. Chicks are fed a high quality diet and grown, and full grown broiler breeders are then harvested, and meat is shipped to restaurants and grocery stores. That is 6 steps, okay, versus the 5 for layer chickens. So I'm going to get started with this vid so that you guys will have a better idea of what it looks like for broiler breeders and that process.
We begin as the birds are collected from the family farms and delivered for processing. Processing plants are typically located near the farms where the birds have been raised, which serves to minimize stress and discomfort to the birds during the delivery phase. Poultry companies must follow strict guidelines established by the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the stunning and slaughter of chickens and turkeys. And while consumers may prefer not to think about what happens at this step, rest assured, poultry companies make every effort to treat the animals in a controlled manner that is both humane and respectful. Dim lighting relaxes the birds, keeping them calm and preventing possible injury. Next, they are transported to an area of the plant where they are immediately stunned and rendered unconscious. Currently, there are 2 approaches to stunning: electrical and controlled atmosphere stunning. Electrical stunning is achieved by exposing the birds to a mild electrical current. Controlled atmosphere stunning uses either a mixture of inert gases or concentrations of carbon dioxide to lower oxygen levels. While each stunning method has its advantages, both render the birds unconscious and incapable of feeling pain. Both are considered equally humane, and both are widely accepted by independent animal welfare organizations such as the United Nations World Organization for Animal Health and the American Association of Avian Pathologists. After the birds are rendered insensible to pain, they pass by a sharp blade that severs arteries in the neck. In the next processing step, feathers are removed with hot water and mechanical picking devices. Inside each of these picking machines are hundreds of rubber fingers, efficiently removing the feathers. The bird is now ready for the removal of internal organs. This step is highly automated and a long way from the old days of workers standing shoulder to shoulder using only knives and scissors. Innovative technology continues to be introduced to eliminate many of the repetitive tasks of the past while assuring even greater food safety and product quality. Raw meat, like any fresh agricultural product, including fruit and vegetables, may harbor naturally occurring bacteria. Some bacteria have the potential to make people sick if raw food products are improperly stored, handled, or undercooked. Processing plants use a variety of intervention strategies at key control points to reduce bacteria counts. For example, the carcass is quickly cooled in a cold water or a cold air chiller to inhibit the growth of bacteria. Other strategies may include the use of food-grade antimicrobial rinses, which are recognized by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration as a safe and effective way to inhibit the growth of foodborne pathogens on raw product. Food safety oversight is also conducted at poultry processing facilities by the Food Safety and Inspection Service, a public health agency of the USDA. Federal inspectors are on duty at all times during plant operation to inspect every bird. FSIS and plant officials routinely test product for pathogens to measure the effectiveness of bacteria control efforts. Plants must meet or exceed standards set forth by the USDA in this regard. If food safety concerns do arise, federal inspectors are authorized to halt production until the issue is fully resolved. Another important aspect of food safety is sanitation. In fact, each day an entire operating shift is dedicated to sanitation. This involves washing down walls and floors and disinfecting plant equipment with approved cleaning agents. Each day before a plant can resume operation, federal inspectors must review and approve sanitation protocols to assure strict adherence. Food safety is critical to maintaining the reputation of the U.S. poultry industry for consumer confidence and trust. Collectively, proper handling, interventions, sanitation, and microbial testing all lead to improved food safety for chicken and turkey products. We hope this presentation has helped you better appreciate the hard work and diligence that goes into processing the delicious and highly nutritious chicken and turkey products that we all enjoy at home and on the go. Thank you for watching. If you would like more information, contact the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association or visit our website at www.uspoultry.org.
That, guys, we are going to wrap up this look at poultry production, but what I want to end with is this visual. Okay, we've got the timeline of egg production and the timeline of broiler production. And so remember, eggs are laid by pullets or layers, and broilers are birthed, hatched by broiler breeders. So remember this when we're looking at the comparison of the steps that happen. There are 5 steps that happen in egg production and 6 steps that happen in broiler production. In both things, in both comparison, the chickens are fed a high quality diet. In both situations, the eggs are collected. But in egg production, the eggs are cleaned and graded and packaged and then shipped to restaurants and stores. In broiler production, the eggs are incubated and hatched, and those chickens that hatch from there are fed a high quality diet. Then once they reach a market level, they are harvested, cleaned, and graded, and the meat is shipped to restaurants and grocery stores. So remember, guys, as we are going through the rest of this week's lessons, go back to this video and look at these comparisons, and I will see you next time.
Which come first, the feather or the shell? Which come first, the feather or the shell? When you see one egg or t'other, do you ever think about its mother? Oh, which come first, the feather or the shell?